Good morning, English literature students. This lecture is in continuation to the earlier lecture, as we have already discussed the four acts of As You Like It, a play written by William Shakespeare. So, students, today I have given you notes and the summary of Act 5, where there are four scenes. So, and also the complete act, okay, the main. What you say, the text. Okay, so we shall be discussing the important dialogues, and I shall be just relating to you what is there in Act 1, Scene 1. Now, see, Act 1, Scene 1, it takes place in the forest where Touchstone is with Audrey, while William enters, who says that he loves Audrey. 2. Touchstone deals with him wittily and persuades him to leave them at soonest, otherwise he may kill him 150 ways. The Corin enters and asks him to come to his master and mistress. So now see, Act 1, I'll just read out the few dialogues. See, Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Touchstone and Audrey. You know, already there are so many pairs and who get by this same Act 5. So all of them, by the end of the play, they all get married. Okay. So now, and there is also a great song which is sung in praise of institution of marriage. Now, Touchstone and Audrey. Touchstone, we shall find a time, Audrey, patience, gentle Audrey, because Touchstone is telling her that there is still time, we can get married. Audrey, faith, the priest was good enough for all the old gentlemen saying. Touchstone, a most wicked Sir Oliver Audrey, a most vile Martex, but Audrey, there is a youth here in the forest lays claim to you. So Audrey, yeah, I know who. He has no interest in me in the world. Here comes the man you mean. Touchstone, it is meat and drink to me to see a clown. We have good wits, have much to answer for. We shall be flouting, we can hold. So now come to act scene. Act 5, Scene 2. Now here you will find that Orlando, who is already in love with Rosalind, his brother Oliver, he falls in love with Rosalind's cousin, that is Celia. And Celia, who is disguised as Elena, and Rosalind, who is disguised as Ganymede. So Orlando comes to know that my brother Oliver, he has fallen in love with Elena, and he says, I will arrange your marriage very soon. So he helps out his brother. And you also find that, you know, in the beginning when you were reading in the Act 1, Scene 1, so how you come to know there was so much of, you know, by Act 1, you come to know that there was so much of rift between the two brothers. But by the end of the play, you know, the whole scene changes. Both the brothers, now they have reconciled and they can help each other out. This is what. Now, Act 1, Scene 2. Orlando and Oliver talk with each other about falling in love with Elena, that is Celia. Orlando asks about how can he fall in love so fast, and eventually he agrees to arrange his marriage with Elena, where the Duke and his merry band will also join. So see, I'll just read out the particular dialogues. Orlando, is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her, that but seeing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she would grant, and will you persevere to enjoy her? Oliver, neither call the giddiness of it in question, the poverty of her, the small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting, but say with me, I love Elena. So he expresses his love for Elena, that is Celia. Say with her that she loves me, consent with both, that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good, for my father's house and all the revenue that was Sir Roland's will I estate upon you, and here live and die a shepherd. So he is so much in love, because in the beginning he never wanted to give even you know, any property of his to his brother. He has agreed that if you arrange my marriage with Celia that I am going to do this. So Orlando says, "You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. There will I invite the Duke and all his contented followers. Go you and prepare Elenia, for look you, here comes my Rosalind." Now, Rosalind will come in the guise of Ganymede. So, Orlando tells Rosalind how the marriage between Oliver and Elenia is to happen, and he wishes if he could marry his Rosalind just like Oliver, and that will happen. That because she will come to Senior Duke, and she will not be in her disguise, but she will come along with Celia, and they will be surprised. Rosalind, who is in disguise of Ganymede, surprises Orlando that he can produce her before him tomorrow at the same time when his brother is to marry Elenia. Sylvius comes with Phoebe, who is fancying about Ganymede. Rosalind asks everyone to come tomorrow when everything will be finally decided. Now, come to page 2 of your notes. Okay? Now, Act 5, Scene 3. Touchstone and Audrey are happily discussing their marriage, which is about to happen. 2 pages of the banished Duke enter, and they sing a song about which Touchstone comments in his sarcastic manner. Now, Scene 4, Act 5. Scene 4 is very important. I have marked all the important dialogues. Now, Act 5, Scene 4. In the forest, everyone has gathered. Rosalind, and as Ganymede makes Duke Senior promise that if Rosalind appears, then he will give her in marriage to Orlando. Rosalind tells Phoebe that if she, Ganymede, is unable to marry her, then she will marry the faithful shepherd. So see, 3 to 4 marriages now. Rosalind and Celia leave, and Duke Senior thinks of Ganymede's similarity to his own daughter Rosalind, because he does not know that Ganymede is in disguise Rosalind. Jake sees Touchstone and Audrey coming and introduces them as fools. A wise and witty discussion happens between Jake and Touchstone. Jake questions him of various subjects and their philosophy. Rosalind and Celia enter without any disguise. Now, this is something very interesting. So, Orlando and Duke Senior are surprised and filled with joy. A song about the virtue of marriage happens. So, institution of marriage is given great importance. Phoebe goes along with Sylvius after witnessing this. Now, see, I have given you here the notes. You can go through page 1, page 2. Now, come to page 3. That is Act 5, the last scene, Jacques de Bois enters with the news of Duke Frederick giving up his dukedom to his brother, Duke Senior, to whom it rightfully belongs. Now see the rift between not only Orlando and Oliver, but even the rift between Senior Duke and Duke Frederick, that is also resolved. Now Jake says that he will go to the Duke who has left everything and abandoned the pomp and vanities of courtly life. All of them get together happily, and Rosalind deliver the epilogue. Now just go through the epilogue. Here the play comes to an end. So it is a very happy ending. Okay. So you can go through the epilogue. Okay. So Rosalind says, "It is not the fashion to see the lady," the epilogue, "but it is no more unhandsome than to see the Lord," the prologue. "If it be true that good wine needs no bush, it is true that a good play needs no epilogue. Yet to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better by help of good epilogue." Yeah, it's a good play. Everything comes to a happy ending. What a case am I in then, and am neither a good epilogue nor cannot insinuate with you in the behalf of a good play. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the woman. I charge you, O woman, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, in parenthesis, as I perceive by your simpering, none of you hates them. so that between you and the woman the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And I'm sure as many as have good beards or good faces or sweet breaths will for my kind offer when I take courtesy bid me farewell. So here the play comes to an end. So it's a very happy ending with all the marriages which take place. So students, tomorrow we shall be discussing the important questions regarding this play. Thank you so much for your patience. हाँ चलो चलो चलो, बन गया मेरा भी।